If you can be part of the program using the numbers you find on your screen. And the topic we are discussing today is timely and very important. Your contribution is going to count a lot for sustainable development. So I look forward to your contribution. Our topic for today is we are still talking about African Educational Empowerment Edition. And the topic is Professional Higher Institutions of Learning in Cameroon. What lessons? We have so many of them. So in the course of this program, we are going to get the lessons that they have been teaching us and the Cameroon in general. With us here, we have Mr. Musoke Lucas Lyonga, the General Coordinator of Excellence Union International Group and a modern nation builder. Welcome to this program today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And I also wish to say that Cameroonians are welcome.
You're welcome. We have Dr. Momeni Mirabel, President and Board Chair Chitekma Boya, Advocate for Women Productivity. It's a pleasure to be with you on set, Madam.
Thank you very much, Madam Alice. We are still delighted, I and my team, to be here on board to see how we can give a small quota in building African youth.
All right. And we have Mrs. Fongwi Helen, Dean of Studies, Chitekma Boya. Pleasure to be with you on set.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure, really, indeed, to represent Chitekma here on stage. I want to say high five to all the prospect students who are out there waiting to listen to us, waiting to get information from Chitekma. I say high five to all my parents who have seen Chitekma worthy and sent their children there. I want to say high five to all those who have come in this year, newly recruited students. And I'm telling you this day that Chitekma is here for you. Whatever question you have, you can pass through the numbers and we are here to answer all your worries.
Wonderful. You can actually seize opportunities. I applaud you for that. Okay, Mr. Musoke, we are looking at African Educational Empowerment Edition. We are talking about African Education Empowerment. Looking at this topic, the reality is that the dream and aspiration of these African youths have been overshadowed by the realities of poverty and poor access to quality education. So when we talk of empowerment, how are we empowering these youths when it comes to education with the realities of poverty and what I've just mentioned?
You know, you've said so many things. When we talk about the reality of poverty, I always tell you that poverty is a mindset. You are poor when you think that you are poor. Because when you even say that somebody is rich, it's undefined. Because in a village where people don't have much, somebody who have a little, they may call him a rich person. So it's relative. So the issue of poverty is mindset. And you know, one of the problems that we have suffered in Africa because we were colonized is because the colonial master has made us to believe that we are poor. But let me tell you that whatsoever the world is enjoying today virtually came from Africa. So you cannot term a continent that gave everything that is poor. So poverty is a term that has been used to intimidate people. I always tell people nobody is poor. You are poor if you think that you are poor. You make yourself poor, and your thoughts make you to think that you are poor. You are not poor. Because at any time you can use that which God has given you to fulfill that which you wish to fulfill, to get that which you desire for yourself. But if you wish to say that you are poor and you sit there and your mindset is only that you are poor, then you are poor and you remain a poor person. So that is what I wish to pass to the youth. Youth, you are not poor. You are poor if you wish to become poor or if you wish to be poor. That is why we go to school. We go to school so that we should be enlightened, to understand that it's possible to succeed in life. And it's a matter of personal effort. It's a matter of making up your mind. Because we have seen people that came from a background that is considered poor. But today, they are billionaires in dollars in the world today. So it's an issue of mindset. It's an issue of making up your mind. So I don't want to think that people should call themselves poor. Don't call yourself a poor man. Even if they call you a poor man, refuse it and tell the people that you were not created as a poor person and you will not be a poor person. Don't accept that connotation. Don't accept that labeling of being poor.
I don't think anybody wants to be poor, but there are conditions. Thank God we have the president of Chitecmac here who runs an institution. There are conditions that have made some youth not being able to even afford the education we are talking about. I hope when we give her the mic, she will clarify something on that.
Yes, there are conditions. That's why I wish to say that most of the conditions that have been set in most systems in the world are imposed by colonial masters. That's why I'm saying that Africans should take their destiny into their hands. We should not walk by what has been imposed to us. That is what I'm trying to drive through. There are a lot of things that have been imposed on us, and we are just taking them like that. That's why I'm saying that in this 21st century in which we live, a century that has given us everything, a century that has information free of charge, a century that everything has been exposed, a century that has become the global village, a century of globalization and so on. We cannot be talking again about poverty, especially the youths that understand life of today. That is a matter of a process. So don't even accept that you are poor in the first place. See yourself as a giant that is working towards becoming so great. Don't see yourself as a poor person. Reject it, because it is something that can keep you bound in slavery for the rest of your life. Reject that idea, that ideology of poverty, no matter how it is defined, and see yourself as a youth that was born to make it and build your life from there. No matter how difficult things are, no matter the stumbling blocks, no matter the constraints, have in mind that you are going to somewhere and build your life to make it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm coming to you, Doctor. We have a lot of these professional higher institutions everywhere. If you look at Boya particularly, and even other towns, but let's focus on Boya. Like after every house, there is a professional or higher institutions. Tell us why this increase in number, and what are they expected? What do they want? Is it to make money or just to educate African youth?
Thank you very much, Madam. I think education has evolved a lot, and Boya or Cameroon cannot remain stagnant. And so, if you see so many higher institutions accredited in Boya by the Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education, you cannot doubt the source of their accreditation, if and only if they are actually accredited by the minister himself. So if the minister gives you that power, that you have the privilege to train Cameroonians, and that you have the potential to train Cameroonians, and you think that you can go and rent a one-room house, 2 rooms in order to build this Cameroon, you're going to fail. When we are in Boya today, with so many higher institutions, I don't even want to count less than 30 who are presumed to be functioning, but those who are functioning effectively, you cannot count them. What makes the difference? The difference at the level of the professional programs you offer in your institution. In Chitecmac, for example, we tailor the theory and the practice that you learn when you are in class. They actually give you the theory. When you go to the world, you're going to now practice what you were taught in class. And so if you are in an institution that you're there for the theory, very soon or later or no time, you're going to shut down, because we know that if you want to be a professional institution, you need to be a professional institution with some expectations. We have people who have campuses that you cannot know. Maybe they're satellite. We don't know whether they are professional institutions or not. But the public should be aware that each accredited higher institution is accredited by the Minister of State and Minister of Higher Education. We, in Chitecmac, we are mentored by the University of Boya. And if you come to Chitecmac, you cannot find Chitecmac. The University of Boya have something to say. We should not say we are here because we have been given the paper is handing, and we cannot know where to land. These professional educations have come to stay, and as Mr. said, we are now blending a lot together. We took up professional technology has come, professionalization has come to stay and to remain. How do you therefore take your professional education or institution to the level expected by the public? You have to modernize it. You need to bring some things that were not even on your accreditation letter to make it more professional. so that the public should actually get what they want. Because youth of these days are not longer youth of yesterday. They used to say, give me the note, let me copy and go and read. They are curious children now. You need to affect them, let them feel that impact in them, that this professional education has changed my life. How do you therefore change the life of this child or of these students without actually deviating from what it means by education? Education is a basic of everybody. You want to be educated. How do you want to be educated? You want to be educated and stand up and they say, what do you have? What can you do? What thing can you put on the table? You say, I have a degree. No, we don't longer choose degrees. We don't longer present degree when you have to present yourself. But what can you put on the table? What professional tool? What skills do you have? So that if you're going to a professional school, you should make sure that that school has the potential to transform you, to transform your mindset, to transform your thinking in such a way that when you want to impact, people should know Chitegma or this other professional institution has changed my life in the positive direction. You know, these days we people picture higher education as a business. Me, I still say here that if you went to business, you went to professional education in order to make money, then your time is very soon going to expire. You go there to impact life. If you impact life and do it well, obviously rewards will come. Because when you are being given that accreditation, when you're given that document, there are some potentials in you that they need to see. And after 1 or 2 years, they need to come to examine, are you doing the right thing? After 5 years, they come. After the 7 year, they come. They are now taking the steps to realize that you didn't come there with the sole motive of making profit. Because if you come to make more profit as your motive, I'm telling you, you're going to quit the stage. We are here to impact. We are here to give what the public wants. We are here to build, to transform these children to be a better version, to be a better transformer of the public. We are in the country where everybody believes on public works. We are not training our students to come and say, I want to write a concours, I want to do. We are not preventing on that, but we are telling you, we transform you to think differently, to be a job creator. So that if you start by selling your chips, your groundnuts, your pawpaws, I here started, it will not be a taboo to you because you know those your small beginnings are taking you to the higher height. And very soon, when you become a professional, people will be thinking, she's lucky, she's fortunate. There's no luck in life. It depends on how you plan from the beginning and how you were trained. If you get to a professional institution with the capacity of taking you to your dream, as Namsoka said, then before you graduate, either being with a level of HND, first degree, or master's, you are equipped in such a way that you can go back and relax. Where can I start? And you start building your steps. And before you want to realize, only your friends will be asking you, where were you trained? And if you are sent to this same school, it's because somebody has met his or her own expectations and now push this other student that go back there. Not because you want a certificate, but because you want skills. Skills and potentials are what Chitegma is out to be on the public, so that children should know that we are not too interested in certificate. It's a basic tool, but you add value to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me go to the Dean of Studies. At first, we used to have professional institutions specialized in specific professions, specific schools. But recently, you have a particular institution with about 6, 7 to 8 schools. You are the Dean of Studies. How do you manage, how do you structure in such a way that you get effectiveness at the end of the day?
Thank you, Madam. Thank God you said in those days, and now we are in this day. And so in this day, we have left the place of just being in one area to many areas because our skills too have developed, they have evolved. And so just like Chitegma, we run 4 schools and many other schools in Boya. You hardly see a school with just one program. And so we too are into that lane where we see that just training maybe medical personnel is not enough. We have the capacity, we have the infrastructure, we have the laboratories to train students in different domains. Take for instance, in the domain of hotel management and catering, which is a whole program, we have food processing, hotel management and catering, fashion, clothing and textile. These programs have different heads of department who are in charge to make sure that quality and effectiveness is seen in these schools. When you take the other schools, you see that it's a whole body on its own. The thing is, having an infrastructure, having the personnel which Chitegma have. And so when we bring this body together, the HODs and their members of staff, we we put them together and they are able to deliver, give to the children, the students, what is particular of them. And today, Chitekma is excelling for 7 years and 8 years going today. We have been running these schools, these 4 schools, and we have been meeting our goals. And so to think that running many schools is a challenge, it may be a challenge to other schools, but to Chitekma, it has never been, and I don't see a day it will be.
All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Herbert Bessie. He's postgraduate project coordinator, Chitekma Boya. It's a pleasure to have you on set.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine as well.
All right. You are the let me just stay with you. You are the project coordinator of Chitekma Boya. We are looking at the lessons that we've gotten, or Cameroon is getting from professional higher institutions in Cameroon. Talking about projects, let's forget that you are carrying projects within your institutions. Have you carried projects that benefits the community, that the community can benefit from? Like she said, it's 7 years going to 8 years running.
Yes, thank you very much for that question. I would say that Chitekma is one of the rare institutions where we emphasize on corporate social responsibility. And I would say that for these past 7 years, we have one student from every community in FACO who schools in our institution, all funded by the institution. So it was the bigger vision of the president to ensure that we don't just have a school in the community and people come from elsewhere to benefit. At least indigents from the community who are not able to have access to education, they can also have that access, which is why every academic year a request is made from all the local chiefs to send at least one representative from their community, and those students are able to school for 2 straight academic years fully funded. So we pay a lot of emphasis on that. And even when it comes back to the academic components, what we are doing is we are trying to harness the skills of students so that by the time they are leaving our institution, they are able to do something hands-on. By doing something hands-on, they are creating opportunities for others, they are employing others, and they are really helping the wider community as a whole.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mosoke, Chitekma may be different, but you agree with me that if you look at the job market, if you look out there, you see hundreds and thousands of unemployed youth. I know you said it's your mindset, but that's a reality on ground. They are unemployed, and some of them, majority of them are coming from these professional schools. Is it not a contradiction, Mr. Mosoke? Professional school releasing jobless youth?
Yeah, you made a comment that Chitekma may be different. So I think that Chitekma is different. It's not me. Chitekma is different because they have their own way of training. Now, you see the issue of, I've done a personal research.
Okay.
And I've explained it on board students. I've read a lot about Harvard and how Harvard evolved, and many graduates from Harvard over the years have tried to. Now, and there was an explanation that 3% of Harvard graduates are actually those that have excelled in the world today. And the explanation goes thus that this 3 to 10%, sorry, these 3 to 10% were very serious even when they were at school. They were already doing something, and they started doing something while at school. So one of the truths about professionalism, let me be very honest, is that all of you can go to the best professional institution, but only a few that knew why they were there and already started doing something could be outstanding. So the secret which I give to youth is that in as much as you are going to a professional institution, you should have your personal goal, your personal vision to be accomplishing what you wish to accomplish while still in school. You already start doing something that when you finish school, you just continue. Don't wait that you finish school, then as magic, you just jump and claiming that you are from a professional institution. So no, I've told you and I'm still saying it. Build your life while in school, so that when you leave that institution, whether it's the best professional institution in the world, if you don't work to build your life and you don't know where you are going to, when you leave that place, you will still be jobless, or you may not even be able to create jobs for yourself. So it all bounds back to the individuals. in as much as the schools are doing their best to produce these graduates, the graduates should know that 80% of their life is in their hands. If they think that it is by going to the best professional institution that has a name that is going to make them a giant, let me tell you, they have already missed it. They have to lay down their own goal, vision, and start working on it. And many youths have come to me, I've told them, get extra books, follow extra YouTube videos, go online, study in the line in which you are pursuing your professional education. Have a wider scope of what is existing in that sphere. Don't limit yourself only by what is being given to you in school. If you do that, at the end you will come out and you will be frustrated because you thought that is a magic that you have gone to a professional institution where you come out. No, you have a lot of work to do on your own. And when you accomplish this much work that you've done on your own, burning candles on your own, when you come out, your friends will be amazed. They say, "Man, we study with this guy. How come that is different?" The work comes back to you. In as much as lecturers, teachers, professionals are doing their best to dish out knowledge, to give knowledge, this is very, very important and is paramount because the world is highly competitive today. There might be jobs, and the job market is extremely selective. So you must prove that you are the best. You must prove that you can do something extra than what you studied in school. So that you show the people that not only what I studied in school, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know that. This is what I've told you. And this will help them to become great men of value when they put in extra time, extra effort on their own to add to that which these institutions are giving them. This is very, very important. So that is just what I wish to say. Thank you.
You're welcome, Doctor. Let's following from what Mr. Muzoke just said, like they need time to read and all of that. If you look at the Western world, you see that students go to universities and they still have time to go and do other things like to work. But let's look at the hours put in, because we used to have programs here on TV. We used to have debate that our own system, they give long hours, almost the whole day a student from a higher institution will spend in school and does not have time to maybe work somewhere. What do you think about this? Is it proper like that, or do you think that it can be changed?
Thank you, Madam Alice. I think that professionals of the Ministry of Higher Education are well trained. And before they could send out a curriculum, they have taken measures to make sure that at the university level, you need to cover that curriculum within the time frame. Saying that there is no time for practice or to do whatsoever, at times we just need to maximize the impact and say there is no time, because time is always a factor. Time is factor according to the institution. When you program what you want to do, there must be time for everything. For example, in Chitegma, when you are, for the first 2 years, after 1 year you go for your internship, what's that internship going to do? It's going to impact you, the practical aspect of it. When you're finished with your HND, like now, our top-up students who are going to involve in degree, what do we do? From 8 o'clock to 3 p.m., they are working. It is a course we call work experience. There is no way you come to school before that time. We send them in the field. If you go to a paid organization, fine. But we write a letter and say it's your communal activity that you're giving back to the community. But the community is building you. That experience is not being so you'll not buy it. By the time you're finishing, you realize that our students have covered about 400 hours of practice. What can you not learn in 400 hours? You're going to be fully organized. You know that this is my time. If I get home in the morning, I have to go to work from 8 to 3, and from 4 to 8, that's where you come to school. That is a top-up program. From 4 to 8, because we have realized that there are some workers, even organizations, in banks, in organizations, in public services, that might have that zeal to go to school. But the time factor, that school is from morning to evening, that time has passed. We have made it in such a way that everybody has the opportunity to add value to what we have, especially women. You know, a woman will tell you, I am married, I have my children, I am doing this, I don't have time. There is time for you if you want to have the time. There's always time. So when we send our students for this work experience, it is a course. evaluated at the end of the semester, at the end of the year. So first semester you start your work experience, second semester you are evaluated. You have covered a whole year working. By the time you get to drop your application, there's not a debate. It's not something you put on scale. Somebody with the experience, with somebody without experience that has all been learning and so on the A grade. We're no longer interested in the A grade. We're interested in what you can do. If I bring you, for example, in my shop, I say, what can you do? Only customer service, how you attend to customers, how you build somebody, how you do. And that one tells me you have some experiences, and it is you I should select. So the world is no longer for only book. You do book, you blend it with practice, you teach the student, you make them available for the job market. We come together to see that if you change your mindset and realize that I need this experience, we realize Cameroonians they want to be forcefully placed at that work experience because they don't even want it. No children will tell you, let me just have my degree and go and rest. I've studied a lot. No, we put you on pressure. If you're coming to Chitema, be ready to study. You study and we put you on measure that you don't depend on your own time, you depend on our own time. We'll tell you you're going to do this. You tell a child, I get up maybe at 4:15. He tell you, why are you looking for again? Because you're supposed to be relaxing and sleeping. And I tell you, I reflect the time that I'm going to give to you tomorrow, so that I occupy your own time and you make profit out of this life. Seriously, this work experience has come to change this whole way that my students were reasoning. This year, for example, when we finish the academic year, you can count more than 30 Chitegma students already placed in shops and institutions adding value. Are we not contributing in town? If you go round town, you will realize that my students are in shops. They are contributing. And some of the shop owners even tell us, please just go fast. Let this student just finish and send her on, or she or he to us. We need her because she has changed our ways. She has helped us a lot to reprogram our organization. So these children, depending on where you feed them and what you want to achieve at your own objective as an institution, you make a child to know that I have added value to organization.
All right, thank you. Let me come to you, Madam Helen. Looking at technology, the world is technologically driven. And we know that there are some courses, some technological courses, but I want to look at IT because everybody, no matter what you are studying, you need to know about IT, you need to know about technology. How is this implemented in your institution?
Thank you, Ma. Like our institution acronym, CHITECMA. CHITECMA. So before the president came out with this title, the name of this institution, she had tech at the back of her mind. And so we are doing everything to make sure this vision that is a technological institution is being implemented. Now we have a good laboratory, the IT lab, a good laboratory with about 30 computers ready for students at every time they want to study. Beside this laboratory, we advise students of technological departments always have a laptop, because after the school you need to study back at home to come back to be able to do the exact thing that was given to you after lectures. And so Chitegma has put in place this lab to help the students build up their skills. Now, the way we tell our programs, you see, in every IT course, that's software engineering, it can be network and security, it can be cyber security, it can be electrical power systems, all of them have what we call practical hours. In a week, we have a practical hour that you must be involved in practical, minus the practicals embedded in your courses. And so this time we give students the opportunity to get into practical work. Chitegma, Madam, I can tell you, we are hands-on. We are too focused on what we give the students as skill, and not just maybe handout and all of that. Now we do what we do. We call projection. In Chitegma, we project notes. That is an aspect of IT. We project notes to make the students understand that we have left the blackboard, the chalkboard, and now this is the time we are in, the time of projection. When a student comes in and you see projected note in the university, normally there's something that needs to be in the back of your mind. Wow, it means I've left the chalkboard to a whiteboard, and so this is already a shape of mind. And so that's why like, let me talk about the IT manager we have now on campus. It's our student to tell you, you cannot train something and you are not able to use. If you are not able to use, meaning your quality has a problem. But we brought in this IT manager being our own student because we know we have given them just what they needed. 2 days ago, somebody called me that, Madam, I need an IT specialist for my institution to work with me. And I asked what the person needed. he gave me the lineup. I went to my students, saw the one that is fit for that job, and related back to him. And the student is now a job, is working with him, because these persons also think that Chitema is doing their best in training these students and giving them that which they need. And so for our IT department, I want to tell you, choosing Chitema for IT, you are doing yourself a wonderful thing.
All right, thank you. We are talking about what lessons. We still, even though with all that what has been mentioned here, we still have problems in our society, in our communities about urbanization. We have health, we have education, and we have so many of these professional higher institutions out there. How do you think that as a project coordinator, how can they be reshaped or refocused so that they solve most of these societal issues?
Thank you very much for the question. With regards to that, I would say that it is always good for the institution to look beyond the graduation of the students. It's not sufficient to just have your students come, attend classes, and then maybe make your profit like the president was saying, and then they go and you know that your job is done. No. You must realign them towards coming out with a solution. You must realign them. That's why even when it comes to master's projects and dissertations, not even only masters, from the undergraduate, you want to see what you're capable of doing. So I think that higher institutes need to focus on the outcome that results from the graduation. You need to sit down, look at your alumni, and ask yourself, for the past 3, 4, 5 years, where have my alumni been placed? What are they doing? Am I proud of my own product? I will tell you that not just the IT manager of our institution is a former student. We have other lecturers and even administrators. That's to say that the institution is confident of what it projects out there. So it is very, very important for higher institutes to pay attention to what happens after the student has left the institution. I think it can give a reorientation on how curriculum is designed and how it is delivered to the students.
Okay, Mr. Musoke, we have recently there was a list that some schools were not authorized, they are not supposed to be functioning. I'm talking about professional higher institutions, and I see a confusion. Even if you go to some of these schools, you look at the infrastructure, you will not even say that this is a nursery school, talk less of a professional higher institution. It's like the government is failing in one way or the other when it comes to allocating or maybe giving them the authority to function. Mr. Musoke.
No, the government is not failing. You know, government works with reference to the reports in the field. The government is not completely in the field. The government has the representatives that go to the field, check what they're supposed to check, and they give you the authorization with respect to what they have received. Mm-hmm. So if a school has been authorized, it means that the school met the criteria or the conditions that have been put down or laid out. But you also know that there is also what we call tolerance. Tolerance is a factor that is being used a lot by the Cameroon government, which means that you might meet 80% of the condition, and they say, well, take it. And it applies in many fields. So if government gives an authorization, it means that government has been furnished with sufficient information to say that this school or this person who wishes to start this school has what it takes before the government can go ahead to do what they are supposed to do. So now I don't know if a school does not have the required or has not met the required conditions and is functioning. I think most of such schools are clandestine. It means those that have not yet been officially authorized, but they are just there to function. And you have many of such schools, even primary, even secondary schools. You have clandestine schools. It's everywhere in Cameroon. So there are also clandestine schools, and that is where now students or applicants, those who have passed the GCE and back, that's where now they have to ask, they need to verify and be sure that when you are going to register somewhere, you are going to apply to a school, be sure that that school is authorized. Those are things that they are supposed to check. Don't just go and say that you want to apply. Go and verify. And at times, you may not go to them directly. You are still free to ask those who know about schools around. They can tell you that this one like this is authorized, this one like this is not authorized. If you wish to go there, no, please go and verify well. They should prove to you that they are authorized before you can go ahead to register. So I think that government does not make mistake as such, because government has their conditions, and if this condition is tabled to them before they can go ahead, if these conditions have not yet been fulfilled, I don't think that they will go ahead to give you the real authorization. Those clandestine schools that are there, they exist everywhere in Cameroon, and I think that
and it's frustrating.
Yes, they are likely also existing in professional higher whatsoever. Now, so that is when now parents have to be vigilant. Parents have to be vigilant, because such schools will pretend to put very low fees so as to attract students, but they are clandestine. So students have to check, students have to verify. We cannot call names of schools here. We are not here for such this, but nevertheless, clandestine schools should be very careful that they regularize their situation. They should make sure that the situation is regularized. But students, candidates that have passed the GCE, please be very careful when you are going to apply in a school that you are not very sure that is authorized. Do your own checks and be sure, so that parents should not cry tomorrow that we did not know. Let the parents be assured of the authorization of the functionality of that school. Then the other point which I also wish to talk to students who have passed their GCE or back is that please don't rush. Seek counsel a lot before you choose a program. Don't rush. You have already passed. Don't rush to apply to any school. Ask for counsel. Ask people that have gone through this. I've received so many calls. The GCE came out. So many calls of students who wish to study things that have to do with engineering and technology. Yes, they have called me and asked which is the best school. That we have seen you on TV talking and telling, please tell us the best school and the rest. I will give them about 2 schools, but I will tell them that this one, I'm sure of this one. Go here, go and apply here. This one may be the second choice. Yes, because I have to also be objective. If not, you find yourself tomorrow wanting. So I have to also be very objective. But I tell them that I know this school very well. So I'm sure if you go there, you succeed. I know this school very well. I'm sure if you go there, but I tell them, in most cases I tell them, don't mention my name. Yes, because some would we refer to no. Just say that you saw somebody on TV talking. You can just say that TV. And if I don't mention my name, because I'm not interested in. There are so many schools that give commissions, but I'm not interested in that. So many people have called me, I will give you commission. No, I'm not interested in commissions. I'm interested in youths coming to study your school. I can send 100 students to your school. Don't give me any commission for any student. That is my own part that I'm playing as nation builder, helping youth to go to the right place. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You know why I ask this question? Because this is a period that children they want to enter into universities and they have to choose. We've seen cases, because why I said this, if you look at the list that I saw, even primary schools that have existed for more than 10 years, they were on the list. So it's kind of confusing both the parents and also the teachers. Like Mr. Masuke said, it's good for you to really do some inquiries. And also the time too, has the taste of time. Look at something that has been existing for long. Don't just rush. Like I said, there are so many of these schools that are out there. There's a question for you, madam. This person says, I do not agree with the fact that professional, especially private higher institutions, are not out to make money. If not, why the high school fees, and also the case of commission when commission for referrals? Yes.
Thank you very much. So far as I'm concerned, what I do is that I applied to own a higher institution in 2017. My sole motive was not to make profit, and up to now, it is not to make profit. If it was to make profit, I don't think I would have gone for the business. It's not a business. My sole profit was to change, was to transform Cameroonians to reason in a particular way and be successful. saying we quote maybe high school fees. It depends on what we are talking about. We are talking of professional training. There's a lot that is needed in order to take a child from where he came from to a level of professional. If people are giving referral, it depends on what is their objective. I cannot define. If your objective is to pull out students from home so that you make profit that you own, but I'm saying here that education is not a business to put in the market to make profit. Education. If you're going into the line of education, you're going to impact life. You're going to change people. You cannot change people with empty hands. You change people with the cost. Anything that has cost has value. If you give the value that you deserve to train that child, it's not going to be high. It's not high. We have institutions with people say, I'm giving you 50% reduction, I'm giving you 100% deduction. It depends on what you will go there to receive. Me, I quote my school fees according to what I know I'm going to use to attract professional lecturers, pay them for their work that are going to train you and to take you to the level I want with you. You have some desires, you have some goals in your life. You want to be trained as a professional citizen. How will I take you from the level you are to that level of professional? Is that I'm going to recruit professional lecturers who will put you in class. I'm going to take you to the lab. I'm going to take you to the field. I'm going to put you in practice. All of this is a cost. If I say if you go there for profit, you're not going to succeed, it's because if the profit, if your sole motive, as in 6 years, you will shut down. If you have less than 200 students, for example, no matter the mathematical formula you apply, you cannot make the profit at the end of the year. You can't, especially if you are involved into infrastructure. Infrastructure takes a lot. Infrastructure takes a lot. So you can't be getting into that. You cannot even get into higher education empty-handed. You must have a cash flow somewhere that is there to fuel the business. If you just get into it because it's not A and B that have been making money, I want to go and make it, I can assure you can't make it. It is not a business destined for profit. It is business destined to transformation of life. And eventually, when you take an exercise and you do it very well, profit will come. Eventually, in the next 5, 10, you cannot break even in higher institution in 5 years. I've been there in 7 years. I'm not break even. And I think that it is the 10th year because that was my forecast when I came to the profession. I told myself for 10 years I'll have constant investment, persistent investment, in order to break even at the 10th year. Once you break even at the 10th year, you are going to celebrate that I've worked so hard. God has blessed me with the fruit of my labor. I cannot take a wine and drink. So it does not mean that you will not lick your hands. You lick your hand, but you wait for the appointed time to lick the hands. If you get in the first year, you say, I want to make it by all costs, I tell you, you're going to frustrate Cameroonians.
Thank you so much. I want us to talk about contextualization of programs, because most of our programs, some schools, they copy programs from the Western world, they copy programs from even our neighboring countries that they are doing there, and they want to do it here. And after graduation, you see that these children are frustrated because they cannot use what they've learned in school, in the society, in the context in which they find themselves. Is that what you are doing?
It can be. It's true that you want to compare maybe some programs out there, but Chitekma is accredited by the Ministry of Higher Education and is mentored by the University of Boya. It means there is nothing we are doing without the permission of these two bodies. And so for our programs to run, say top-up programs, BSc programs, UB must have approved. And if UB is approving and we are saying it's Western, well, then UB approve Western things.
There are some subjects, that even our state universities offers that are not contextual.
Well, that is not the case with Chitekma, I insist, because I remember when we had a kind of board meeting and we told ourselves, okay, this is the curriculum, but we are bringing in this aspect of practical to involve the students into other things. For instance, look at our transport and logistics program. There, if you see what we have signed from the ministry and from the University of Boya is theory. But what have Chitekma brought in? We have brought in the safety practicals, which is swimming practicals, is fire extinguishing practicals, accident prevention practical. You will not find it in the HND curriculum. You will not find it in the UB program. But then Chitekma has embedded these practicals into it because we have realized that for a successful logistician to go out into the market and excel, they must have these basic skills. And so we have brought this on board. So we don't get to copy programs from one place to the other. We sit as a team and we look at the programs and we ask ourselves, if this is my child, what can I put in so that after graduation, after the certificate, this child can be able to give to the nation what the nation wants. Just in this program, we have a fashion designer 2 year. When he looked into it, I was asking him the other day, well, why did you choose this angle of fashion? And he told me, no, madam, everybody's into sewing, everybody into bead making, everybody into something else. But I'm not seeing someone who can take suit and design the suit in another way. That is Chitegma for us. When we look at these students, like we now call them closer, we draw them closer, and we tell them, if you do this and do this, you will succeed. Now, before we send students on internship, when we do placements, we tell the student, you have the right to come back for another letter if you think that where we have placed you is not good enough for you. Now, students came and said, madam, this other company, I think I need something that is in this company. We will not say because we have given you a letter, we cannot give another. We put you down because our main objective is first orientation. We orientate you and then look at your passion and send you to where you want to gather the skills. And so that's what Chitegma is all about. That's what we have been doing, and that is what we want to do because it is correct, it is good.
Okay, Herbert, I'm sorry that I'm putting you in a situation where you only have to talk about, not only, but talk more about sustainable development. We have our higher institutions, even state university, before you graduate, you write a project. Each student, they are supposed to write a project. I want to find out, what do they do with this project that these students write? Because we should not lie, we should not fool ourselves. There are so many problems. And if you go to those projects, you see that these students, they have solved a lot of problems, but still in a written form. So what do you people do with it to solve so many problems and bring about sustainable development?
Thank you very much for the question. One of the innovations that we are bringing is we are bringing in sort of entrepreneurship contest in this coming academic year. And this initiative came up because we sat down and we really thought of how we can help the students to realize their projects. It's true that many of them are already doing something. Some started doing something while they were schooling. Maybe they had resources from the family, they had some basic support. But we want to look at how we can fine-tune their ideas and these projects that they've written, and then we source funding for them. So it is something which is in the pipeline, so that by the end of next academic year, we can say that, okay, these 5 students have been able to have access to funding to their project, which will help them to either develop their ideas into a project, or will help them to scale up what they are already doing.
All right, Mr. Mosoke, thank you for that. I would just want you to talk more, because I know you're very intelligent and also has the interest of the youth at heart. So many schools, so many projects. Do you think there is a way that maybe the state, maybe the government can come in and they make use of this wasted knowledge that are being left on the counters of universities?
Yeah, the truth is there are many universities with these projects, especially government institutions, where you do a first degree and you write a project, and is seemingly end up probably not being implemented. I think that private higher institutions should look into this seriously. And when students are writing projects or writing their long essay, as they call it, it's good that they should be able to be oriented to write something that makes sense, not just to write something that you wish to have marks, and at the end they give you marks. But they should write something that the children should be held responsible in the fact that what you are writing, we wish to follow up and see that you do something about it. Or the school itself can do something about some of the very important projects that some of these students might have written. Let me say that writing a project is one thing. It's just the start. To write is just the first step. That project maybe needs to be looked into, and it needs to be implemented. If it is a project maybe costed and we have a plan for it, then now before we go ahead to implement. But you know that a project development is also very costly, depending on the type of project that you've written. You need resources. You need a lot of resources that should be in place. So, and this institution may not have the resources as such to give to these students to develop their projects, which could thereafter be implemented. And after the schools too can follow up to see that these projects truly are functional, depending on the type of project in place. That's why there's a need for a strong partnership between educational institutions or professional institutions with the business world or the companies. There's that strong link. Elsewhere, companies sponsor and provide funding for reasonable projects and reasonable write-ups that can be implemented in communities. They are funded. Government, on the other hand, may not really have the ability to fund projects for 500,000 Cameroonians who have projects. So the schools themselves should be able to maybe select, even if not all, select a few that make sense and see whether they can actually put some funding into it and see that it's followed up, so that that one too can be used as evidence of what they are doing, especially to the communities or what. I followed up one guy once who said that he has put aside 600 million for projects, but I still have to ask him some few years there to show me the proof that he truly gave those 600 million to those youths that he claimed to have given. Because talking is one thing, doing it is another thing. So what I'm saying is that it requires funding, and that is where now funding sourcing is also a course, how to source for funding. There are a lot of funding sources, websites where students can win grants, win resources that they can use. These are things that those who are teaching project management should also be able to bring these websites. There are so many of them. Show these websites to students. Let students exploit them so that they can struggle and table projects, and they might win one or two, and they will use it to implement their projects in their communities. This is very important, and this funding sourcing is very, very difficult. Yes, but it's easy if you try many times. You can win one or two or three, and these grants that can be used to. There are many websites that have funding for this, but know that it's highly competitive because they compare projects of different nations and they select the best, probably the best 10. I won 2 or 3, this thing like that I won 2 or 3. So I can help some students who are interested. I can give you some websites that if you write a good project, I can give you some website that you can go there, you apply and submit your project, and they will try to evaluate. If the project makes sense, and you can win, who knows? You can win 10 million, you can win 15 million, you can win 30 million, or even more, depending on the project you have at hand. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our topic for today is professional higher institutions of learning in Cameroon. Which lessons? And we are going to bring to you the lessons in practical form. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to be seeing, I know we'll learn lessons, but you are going to be seeing the lessons that these professional higher institutions in Cameroon are teaching us. Welcome back, fellow viewers. If you are tuning in, this is Night Television, and the program you are watching is Excellence Impact. We are discussing professional higher institutions in Cameroon, which lessons, and like I said, we are going to be seeing some of the lessons that we have learned from these professional higher institutions. With me here, let me start with this gentleman. Please tell us your name. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'm Yombi Krista Muto from Chidema.
Okay, I will just go straight to the other well-dressed gentleman over there. What's your name, please?
Thank you, Mom. I'm Ning Tambon Denzel Ransom from Chitekma Boya.
All right, let me just stay with you. What are you wearing? It looks different.
Thank you. Actually, I'm putting on me. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm that kind of person who love creativity, because for me, fashion comes through creativity and style.
Yes.
Yeah. So I came on with this idea because I noticed people are into fashion, but they're actually not really getting to other parts where people will love to really get to enjoy. So I came with an aspect where people will not want to spend more on getting suits. Like, I can revamp your suit to make it look classy and taste for the way you want it. Yeah. So that's it. So I call it Denzel's Touch.
Okay, Denzel's Touch.
Yes.
I see beads. I see, it's a combination, because when it comes to men's suits, like if you look the way Mr. Musoke is dressed, it's just clean, simple. But this one now, we have beads, is it for musicians, or tell us?
Actually, I'm a model.
Oh, huh.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a model, and I'm also kind of person that I like to make my style extra.
Okay.
Yeah, I must not do yours like this. I actually do their own, but this is my own style.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm actually putting on me, so I just love me. That's just it.
Okay, you studied here in Chitekma, you're studying in Chitekma. Tell us, coming out with something like this, it means you are already working, you're already in the job market, you're already making money. Tell us the journey so far.
Well, Chitekma came to me like a vision. Firstly, what attracted me to Chitekma was the color, the lemon green. I'm a lover of green, actually, nature. So when I was in secondary school, when they came to advertise the school, I already had in mind that no, Chitekma I'll actually go in for, because I discovered my program was actually scheduled in it. That was fashion and designing. So when I came into the school, I already felt like I'm home, because the way Chitekma welcomed me, and it makes you feel comfortable to study, because no matter how tough it is, you try to get to the teachers. They try to make it in a way that you're going to understand what you're actually studying or what you're learning. I'm that kind of person. I don't really like the theory. The theory, but I'm not kind of person that I'm quite complicated. But the teachers make me to know that yes, through this I can understand, because I cannot just do this without the theoretical part.
Okay, do you think that Chitekma has groomed you in such a way that you are able to excel out there and also employ other youth?
Yes, ma'am. Chitekma has made me what I am, because I am actually Mr. Ambassador Model Cameroon 2023.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Because when I got to Chitekma, I had the grace. From there, I had the grace. And from there, I'm able to also groom other youths to get into modeling and get reasonable titles too.
So you're telling us that if we want to design a dress, if we want something different from the normal, from the usual, we should just come there to Chitekma. We're going to get to you. You're going to do something nice for us, especially us journalists who come to.
Yes, ma'am. Always available.
All right, thank you. I'm coming out to you. Your name again, please. Sorry.
Mr. Yomi Krista.
Okay, good stuff, right?
Yes.
Tell us, what's this in front of you? Let me just.
Okay. Okay, so this
you
is
just take it up a bit, so
okay.
we'll be able to see.
Okay, so this is a robotic car. Yeah, this is a robotic car. So I choose to do this for my final year project. Yeah, so this is actually my final year. Well, it's not like we are not limited to this. Yeah, we are not limited to, because in Chitekma, we are doing software engineering. Yeah, and I want to say that before I explain what this is all about, I want to say that for people that are studying art, because actually I'm not from a science background, I'm an art student, and when I actually get to Chitekma, I ask them before, because normally back in school, a lot of school come for advert. Yeah, so students like that, some of them are actually confused of which school to choose. Yeah, so I had to sit down and think that what do I really want, because normally I had two things to do in mind. I had engineering and maybe logistic. Yeah, so I was not really interested in logistics and somebody that like creativity. Yeah, so I go to Chitekma, and the first day I went there, I first of all asked that, do you people accept student from art background to do engineering, because I wanted to be sure. I don't want to do something that will, yes, because I know that mathematics has always been my problem, and maybe a lot of physics and chemistry, yeah, because that's what I knew. So when I get there, everything was good. Yeah, I can say everything was good, because if you see what I'm doing as a science, as a art student, I apply a lot of mathematics here, writing the algorithm. So when I get to Chitema, I noticed that Chitema is that type of school that they make your dreams come true. Yes, they make your dreams come true. Chitema is that kind of school that when they see that you are that kind of student, that you are interested in a particular area, they make sure that they look into that area and see you achieving something. And so actually in Chitema, this is just a course. This is just a course. This is not like a program, because normally everybody knows that software engineering is all about programming, like maybe normal softwares and hardware are not included. Yeah, so doing something like this, automation system like this is just a course which we call embedded system. Yeah, so I was able to come out with this thing because Chitema, when a course is a course that needs practical, the lecturers, as professional as they are, they put more emphasis on that practical. Yes, so I came out with this. Normally, before I get this project, I look at the projects. I applied. I said, okay, this is what I want to work on. Yes.
Tell us about it.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so this is a robotic car. Yeah. So this robotic car is remote control car. Yeah, it's a remote control car. So if you look at here, this is a switch button, like this, a button. Yeah, the power button. You can power on and off the car. And this is a 12-volt rechargeable battery that are used to power the whole car. Yeah, so these are wheels, and these wheels are connected to the gear motors. So these are the gear motors here. I don't know if you can see down here. Yes, these wheels are connected to the gear motors. Yes, so this is a motor driver. Actually, this is what make the movement of the wheel and the gear motor. Yes, this is what gives the command to the gear motor that tells the wheel to move on different surfaces. Yes, and then here is an Arduino Uno, which acts as the brain of the project. Yeah, this is the medical controller and as the brain of the project. So all the code that's been written is being unloaded into this board. Yeah, so this is a breadboard that just used to extend the functionality of the Arduino Uno to the breadboard. Yeah, because on the Arduino have limited pins and we may want to integrate different components. Yes, so here is a Bluetooth module. This one is used for wireless communication between the robots and the third-party device that I want to use to control the vehicle. Yeah, so here is an oscilloscope. This is a relay. This is a relay module. Yes. Then here I was supposed to put an ultrasonic sensor here, but because I'm the type of person that I like integrating different systems, yeah, and I don't really have that money to be getting different components to be integrating different systems. Yes, I used to remove some components on ongoing projects on my previous project and then implement ongoing project to see how I can be able to integrate different systems. Yes, so actually when you connect this Bluetooth to your phone, for example, I connect it with my phone. So when you connect the Bluetooth to your phone and send a command, for example, you want the car to move forward. Yeah, the Bluetooth will receive the command and then send the command to this Arduino Uno. Yes, the Arduino Uno will now receive the command, integrate it, then send the command to this motor driver. The motor driver now will now look at the command and see, because the way I program this car, if you want the car to move left, for example, just these two tires will be moving so that it should go like that, right, like this. Yes, so it will now read the command and see what you need, then send out to the gear motor, and then the gear motor now will perform the action.
All right, tell us now. You've used a lot of terminologies that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not familiar with. So can this thing be made bigger to, let me say, useful? Because I used to see nowadays agriculture, we have these cars, these robot cars that they do farming and all of that. Can it be made bigger? Like if somebody wants to do something, they come to Chitegma and they get all of these things that you've made for them to work on.
Of course, this is a prototype, and if you want to implement this kind of project, it needs it needs bigger components that you can make, that you can integrate it. Yes. So talking about agriculture, we are not only limited to this. Yeah. So I have different systems that I make. Like for example, I design an irrigation system. Yes, an irrigation system where you can actually monitor your farm. For example, I just take an example. I just look at, because we want to do something I really want to look at something in our society. Yeah, so I look at and say that, okay, many people, for example, people are doing tomatoes or Irish potatoes. Yeah, so we look at that and we look at, as I say, and I was like, okay, I can make a system that somebody will actually sit in the house, monitor the farm, water the crops, yes, and then stop water and then pump water when it is necessary. Yeah, so I make a system that will automatically pump water into that system, into the farm, when the soil is soft, like when the water is, because when you're programming it, you know that, okay, I want the water level to be like this before it stop. So when the water level is the way you want it to be, the pump stop pumping the water. Yes, and when it is dry, it gives you a message. Then now you can now make it the way. Then you cannot only then you start pumping the water. So this one can actually be applied if you want. But now this is a prototype, like I said. So if you want to integrate this sort of system that you can use in real world, then you need bigger components. Yeah, then yes, you need real-time component. Yes. So this one is just to understand the concept.
Okay, Madam, from what we have seen here, at least, they are, I don't know what to say, but they are actually, you are matching words with action. So I must applaud you for that. Coming with all of this and connecting all of these things to be able to work the way it's working, I can say that you are different. Because why I'm saying so, we have a lot of, we are professional higher institutions and all of that, but when you go there, you don't see the professionalism in whatsoever they are doing. So congratulations for that. We are just going to take a short break and we'll come back to conclude with the program. Yourself, okay, we are not just talking here. You can hear from the students themselves the experience they have gotten and what they are able to produce is also very, very amazing. Okay, Madam, any future plans in terms of programs that you want to bring to Cameroonians?
Thank you very much. Being a mother, when you sit and see your children performing this way, you can only think that God is blessing you and blessing your family, because they are our children, and the way they presented here, I don't think anybody out there will not love to wear my shoe. With that, you must develop your dreams. You must think far. So far, we are having our master's program, the master's program from the School of Business, School of Home Economics, School of Engineering. But notwithstanding, we have some ideas. The future is pregnant. I can tell you the future is pregnant. We envisage to go into partnership with a renowned University of Calabar in the next future to offer opportunity for our master students who are there and seeking to have PhD. And I think that it's high time that they know that their university, their Chartered Higher Institute of Technology and Management is thinking about that. You should be pulling out your socks out of your bag and making yourself ready. For these students that had their masters, PhD is on the way with the Calabar University. And anytime from now, we are going to be in contact with you. We'll give you a flow of information on how, because what we don't want our professionals to leave us alone. They should come back and remain like lecturers, so that they bring now up these little ones that are coming now. We don't want to miss. These children are professionally trained, working in their own organization. The world, I tell people, multiply your stream of incomes. If one of the stream of income of my student is to teach and give back to the society, then I will celebrate myself every day and say I'm meeting up. You look at our master's program, we are now offering the masters in public medical department, because we have evolved. We have moved from first degree to masters. And these students who have their top up and are ready to go in for this program, we know that you're looking at us and asking yourself, where will I go for the master's program? Your institution is open. We have some doubts referring to the press release by the Minister of State and Minister of Higher Education and Minister of Public Health. That is disturbing, but I want to be clear here that the press release submitted to us specify that there will be an reorganization of the medical programs. And so for those who desire to do their medical field, we have the straight 4 years where you come in the first year, you go year 2, year 3, year 4. At the end, you have your bachelor degree accredited and mentored by the University of Boya. You should not have any fear. As far as HND programs are concerned, there is a hold on it by these two ministries, which require just a reorganization and not a suspension, according to the press release that we had. And so those who think that they can still trust their higher institution, do some investigations. This is a decision-taking stage of your life, especially for these new students, new prospects that are going to take the decision. Parents, please make sure you accompany your children very well. Inquire for information, seek for information that will build your child's future. Don't go for the institution that tells you it's only other accredited to run HND program in medical. No. For now, everybody is on suspension until this our Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education, Professor Jaffa Mendongo, will give us a way to go. So it is not suspended, it is not the council, it's simple required reorganization. Maybe it's a restructuring of program we are waiting. Before we start with the new academic year, clarifications must be given. For those who are eager to do their medical, they should come and do the straight 4 years, because this straight 4 years is, of course, they will tell you if you come to us, you're going to do the straight 4 years no matter the A levels you have. No, the University of Boya require you to have some elementary courses like chemistry, like biology, before you embark into that. And somebody will tell you, no, I have literature, I have history, you can do medical. Watch out. There are so many frustrators out there. But if you're embarking into institution, seek for information, seek for the truth, stand for the truth, so that your future will not be questionable. Students can now take 3 years, and at the end of the third year, they'll say, I cannot write HND, I cannot do this. The institution will not take you. I know of institution frustrated students who at the end of the day can't go in for HND, and they start explaining you did something, but I wasted you 2-3 years. I don't want that any Cameroonian should face this. You have programs in Chitegma, will give you what you need. Now we have 4 years straight program in engineering, cyber security. If you think that you cannot do software engineering, you cannot do network, you cannot do graphic, you cannot do digital marketing, you can come in for your cyber security. It's straight 4 years, but at the end of each year, you have to take an internship where you go in for 3 months. So at the end of the 4th year, you are a professional cyber security person. You're not going to that. We have programs, straight programs like supply chain management in 3 years in the faculty of social and management science. You go 3 years and you have that. Apart from that, we have many programs that you know yourself. We are professional by action. You've seen what your students are showing you there. If you talk of textile, if you talk of food processing, if you talk of engineering, if you talk of any other one, think of Chitegma. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amos. Okay, I'm quickly going to ask you this question. You know, we don't have much time, but I'll put all of it together. I saw you nodding your head when the two gentlemen were displaying what they've been able to come out with. And you are that kind of a person who always like that youth, they should not just talk, but they should do something. I want you to comment on that, and also the importance of orientation, because this is and you just mentioned it passively, this is a period where a lot of these youth are looking for schools to go into, and particularly programs to go in for. Mr. Masuke.
Yeah, for me to first of all say that research and development is very, very costly. And there are a lot of works that have been done by Cameroonians at home and abroad that need a lot of funding to be able to bring them to fruition, materialization. He has shown us a prototype here. To develop that stuff, to make it in a way that farmers can come and buy, maybe use, it takes a lot of money. That is why I'm still saying that development or research and development is very, very costly. And these youths have this knowledge. A good number of them have knowledge in different areas. The limitations that has always been is the limitation in the area of funding constraints to develop such ideas and make it usable to the community. The knowledge is there, you need to set up a lot of plans in order to produce doing that. So this is good, and very soon you see now companies elsewhere come and take these youths and go with them. Then the Africa that is producing these youths is not benefiting he become individual beneficiary because he has the knowledge. He can be picked up and he goes to anywhere, he puts the knowledge into use, and he's a personal beneficiary. But the nation, the continent, is not benefiting because they have not been able to risk a lot of funding to put in place infrastructures that can enable such projects to be developed so that the community can benefit from this. That is where now the African government needs to look into this. There is a lot of money in Africa, but not properly harnessed, misappropriated, misused. Whereas this money could be channeled into projects that will bring such things to limelight, and Africans, Cameroonians also can benefit. I'm very happy this is practice. I'm very happy for what those two young men have demonstrated here. The other man who spoke about styling and fashion, there are also a lot of equipment that are necessary to make it industrial scale, to make it in a way that you can have large scale, large volume sales in Cameroon, in Africa. But you can start from somewhere and grow, yes. But again, good funding will make him expand, establish, and also train other youths that can also benefit from his expertise, and very soon you realize so many other youths are also making. So we need to actually take it serious, especially in Africa, that we should sacrifice funding into things that are going to bring development in our continent. We use money for things that are not actually bringing us to where we are supposed to be. A lot of leakages and a lot of money used for other things that are not necessary. We consume a lot, we buy a lot of things that we can, on the other hand, put that money into plants in Africa and produce large scale and also sell to other continents. We have the brains are there, the Cameroonians are there, the Africans are there, they have the know-how. But are we actually bringing them to the table so that they can, for example, there are no projects in Cameroon, in Africa now that we need foreigners to come and carry all those projects for us. No, we have individual Africans who are able to do all what is being done in Africa today. But they are scattered all over the world and working for big companies and giving their expertise there. Then we stay here as a continent that seemingly has nothing. No, we have. Africans have studied in all areas, in all fields. The continent needs to bring their sons and daughters on the table so that plans, investments are done to develop this knowledge so that we can benefit from the fallouts. Thank you.
Thank you very much. When we come back, we'll just give you 1 minute. I think we have less than 10 minutes here on set. I will start with you, madam. It's like a take-home message. You know, many youth, young people, they are looking for where institutions to register to go into. But they have the mentality, many of them have the mentality that when I go to Boya or I'm going to a university, is freedom. I can go to school whenever I want to go to school. I can go and party wherever I want to go and party and all of that. Now, I just want you to give it this. You are a mom also, and also you also head a university. Talk to these young ones that are coming in, because it's a serious matter. They are not coming to play.
Thank you very much, Madam Alice. I will stay here that I've been in Boya for the past 25 years. I've noticed that any child that comes to university is first of all very excited to discover what is university. I tell them university is like a stamp when you come to put on you, and Moliko is a very hot ground. When you reach in Moliko, you need to know where you are. There are people that can suspend you in the air, you don't even land on the floor. If you're coming to Boya, be prepared, my dear children. It is time to know that there's a difference between secondary school and university. In the university, you have your freedom, and that freedom has a value. If you value your freedom, you're going to land in a fruitful land. If you don't value your freedom, you come and land yourself in a group of people. There are persons there that will claim to know you better, that will claim to direct you, that will claim to show you high institution that can give you value. Before leaving where you're coming from, you are aware of certain institutions, you are aware of some schools, you have information in your hand. Go there directly, seek your information. What is this school? If they tell you this school in Chitegma, located directly opposite Presbyterian Church Moliko, get into the secretariat. I am coming from Konsamba and I'm seeking for information about this school. When you know the next school, you go there and look. Because there are people positioning even their agent in front of other people's schools in order to just pick you to another school and misdirect you. This is a very sensitive area and the environment is very dynamic. You need to know that reaching Boya is like you've landed in a no man's zone where everybody has the liberty to do whatsoever you do. Don't keep late night. Come to school because you want to come and study. I just told a prospect who came to my house, my neighbor this morning. When he came to my house, I told the child that Chitegma is where we relate one-on-one with the child. Because the father told me, but this my pikin is like this. I said, don't give a comment. Here we transform everything to positive. No matter how your child is. Once he's with us, we have a one-in-one. We have transformed children who go over there, who have smoked, who come back to us and say, madam, if not of this school, I would have done it. Because we don't put only the school, we put the family together. I take you at times in my office, I discuss with you, I share a dream with you, my student, and I tell you, I'm seeing you as a next president of this country. Do you believe in yourself? Just to bring that student down, to tell the student that believing in yourself and doing the right thing. When you come to university, you realize that at the end of the first semester, most students will not perform because they were still playing.
Yes.
But when you come there and set your objective, this is what I want to attain. Know your background. Know where you're coming from. Let nobody come Boya and direct you where you're coming from. You know that you have a background, humble background, where your 50,000 has to be enough for a year. Stick on it. Don't come and reach in Boya and begin to dream of 500,000 when the bombers and the rest will come and go and swallow you. At the end of the day, your parents will not know. I'm warning young girls. Please be directed by the Spirit of God. Work with God. Be prayerful, because when you have prayer in your life, you've conquered everything. And put yourself with God rightly. Once you are right with God, if God will direct you even towards the institution that will help you. If God directs you towards Chitegma, you're welcome home. Because once you come into our home, we'll take you as your child, we'll bring you up, and tomorrow we'll celebrate that thing together. Because the future is for those who fight for themselves, not those who are just taking things for granted. If you fight for yourself by studying, by respecting your lecturer, by attending your lectures, by doing what is right according to the prescription of the school, then your future is very assured. Thank you very much, my children. I love you so much. We'll be waiting for you at Chitegma anytime from now.
All right, we are giving our take-home message, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Chitegma is located directly opposite the Presbyterian Church Moliko. The past 3 or 4 years, our main campus was located around the Central Market, but we have moved over to Moliko. So we will no longer be taking the bus like we used to take you over there, but we are just behind our admission office. So from your house to school is no payment of transport. I want to tell you this time around, Chitegma is closer to Moliko, and so if you're coming to us, you're coming with security and with safety and everything. Also, I want to insist that I do a lot of orientation. If my prospects, those who just came in, newly students who just registered with us, are watching me live, I know that I've in the course of orientation help 1 or 2 of them to switch department. Why? Because somebody just comes in and say, madam, this is my background. I said, so what do you want to study? I want to study software engineering. My first question as a dean of study is, why do you want to study software engineering? And the child will just tell you, maybe my friends are studying and all of this and all of this, and my duty here is to put you through. So when you come and you are not satisfied, look for me to give you the orientation that you need, because that is why I am in Chitegma. I will give you the orientation, and if we look at it and say this is a program you want to study, you will go in for it. Chitegma has this program, the mass program, a kind of prayer that we run every month, every first Wednesday of every month. And so what baffles me in this program is you don't know Muslim from Pentecostals to other Christians. Everybody just wants to belong, and we celebrate, and at the end people are asking, but madam, they're doing but mass. It's but mass, and what has happened? But everybody is there. Those who are not partaking, outsiders are those complaining. Meanwhile, the students who is their thing are enjoying it. And so you see the family that is in Chitegma. If you're out there and you're looking for a family, look for Chitegma, for that is who we are.
Thank you very much. Your take-home message.
Thank you very much. I'll just take on from where the Dean of Studies ended to say that if you're coming from out of town and you're looking for a family, then Chitegma is that family that you're going to have. I also wish to emphasize the aspect of flexibility in our studies, which means, especially for the postgraduate and the top-up degree, you can live out of town and you still school. Yes, most especially for the postgraduate, our lectures are on weekends, that's on Saturdays and on Sundays. Very, very flexible, which means that you can work in Yaoundé, you can work in Douala. We have students, we have alumni, they can share their experience. They're working in Yaoundé, but they are schooling hitch-free, they can partake in their continuous assessments, their examinations. And the last thing I would say is that I think one of our viewers was asking about high costs, but you can check. We have the most affordable fees. I will emphasize this, especially at the level of the postgraduate, because when so many prospects come and they see our school fee, they are wondering, they are telling themselves that maybe in the course of the year we'll be asking them for money, and they're like, no, what you see is what we charge, and it is just what helps us to cover. I can say, let me just add my voice to that of the vision bearer, because you might think that she's saying it because she's the founder and the president. As a team member in Chitegma, what we receive from the students is what helps us to run the institution. If it's to say that there is some extra or exorbitant cost that has been added, that is not true. So it's very, very affordable. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sounds okay.
Yeah, Chitemba was on board to sell herself, so if she has maximized the opportunity, fine. But what I just wish to say is that I think Chitemba has been consistent, and students who have passed the GCE, A levels, and baccalaureate will surely not regret it if they go to Chitemba. I can truly recommend it, frankly speaking, that you can go to Chitemba with all confidence. This is a school that is authorized, so you are free to go there and see what they are offering. They have not really talk a lot about what they are offering to students, which I thought that would have been so good for them to maybe list some of the programs and courses or whatsoever that they are doing, so that students will know that. But just know that they are doing most of what you will surely want, and if you go there, you can register. And I think they could have also indicated if students can register online. Those who are far off, whom you wish to register online, is that facility available? Thank you so much. I think that is what they were supposed to say, and I think that facility is available to register with Chitema online. They are still here. Probably they may have 1 second.
Yeah, the journalist now.
So Chitema is a good place. You can go there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Musoke, for that information. I think you can register with us online at chitema.com. If you want to go to the School of Medical and Biomedical Science to do 4 straight years to study nursing, medical laboratory, or midwifery, you're free to come. If it's your choice to do engineering, you can do cyber security, you can do software, you can do network, you can do graphic design, you can do digital marketing and branding. If you want to do home economics, you can go there with bakery and food processing, fashion and clothing, hotel management, catering, tourism, and hospitality management. But if you think that it's a school of business that is with you, you can go for accounting, banking, supply chain management, tourism, and so many programs. We are here for you. Come home, come all.
All right, thank you very much, televiewers, for being part of the program, and also wish to thank all of you for taking out time to come today to Higher Television to talk to us about professional higher institutions. The rebroadcast of this program comes up at 10 p.m. Do well to join us again next week for another edition, and stay tuned to High Television.